Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chris Grows Up. This is the third and final episode in the Cut the Small Talk series. And so this week I'm going to summarize the last 2 weeks I've had, the lessons that I've learned, and just share some stories about how I've gone. Because growing in this last 2 weeks has been pretty full on, really fun, but full on. And so I've got 5 things I want to share with you. 5 kind of little gems that I've learned. Gems, gold. But before I do that, let me just kind of preface it with this statement because I think it's important. So during these 2-week kind of cycles, I'll be intentionally focusing on these issues and intensively focusing on them as well. And so to kind of continue this rate of intention is not healthy. Moving forward. So the idea behind this is to work on these things and work on them intensely, and then hopefully positive, good habits evolve and become automatic after this. And so it's not like you're kind of, for instance, using this example of cutting the small talk. You're not always trying to look for conversations every day for the rest of your life because that's unsustainable. It won't work. You will be exhausted. Okay? Don't even try it. The idea is to develop good positive habits, and doing that by having 2 weeks where you can have your eyes opened to where you're actually at, where you think you're at, and then hopefully learn some things and grow from there. So if you're wanting to journey with me through this process, please don't think that I'm going to be trying to do this like as intensely as I have been over these last 2 weeks for the rest of my life, because it won't work. But hopefully I've picked up some things this week, and I'll hopefully use them moving forward. So 5 things that I've learned. First thing is this: it doesn't take much to break the routine, right? And I talked about this the last episode, but it's this idea that when we're in a routine, when we're in a schedule, we're busy and our lives are full on, and we're going here, we're going there, we become zombies, right? We become social zombies. And the first thing that comes at the expense of that schedule is your social interactions, going deep with people. And honestly, it doesn't take much to break that. So little, right? Just a comment here, a comment there, being a little bit more mindful, and you can break that. You can break it for yourself, and you can break it for the person that you're talking to as well. I was in filling my car with petrol this week, and I've obviously been mindful of this. But the guy who served me, again, this is weird. The guy who served me was in a bunny, like a rabbit outfit, like a full rabbit outfit behind the cash register. And I actually thought, this is awesome because I don't have to fake like this conversation or initiate any kind of, I don't know. He was like obviously wanted to talk because he's wearing a bunny outfit. Like that generates conversation. And so that's a big thing that broke the routine. But just little things like saying, like I said last week, actually, are you really good? Or just being mindful and saying, hey, that's a nice sweater or whatever, can go a long way in breaking that routine and then getting some decent conversations in life happening. That's the first thing. The second thing is this, and this might be the most profound thing that I've learned this week. That is, you cannot help but be affected by having these conversations, right? It's unavoidable, and that's for the positive and the negative. It's a two-edged sword, right? And what I mean by that is human beings are designed to connect with other human beings. That's what we do. And in that process of connecting and talking, and you grow close. That's what conversations are designed to do, to communicate and learn and grow close together. And so don't expect to go into conversations and not feel things. For instance, last week when I had that conversation with the girl at the register, and she was going to become an auntie, I went away feeling encouraged and happy and excited for her. This week, I had the opposite effect. So I was talking to an elderly man. He was 85 years old. And we struck up a conversation. And it was really sad. Like he said to me, oh, I'm really tired. And I said, why are you tired? And he said, well, this week, just today, my wife had a stroke. And the prognosis moving forward isn't looking good for her. And so he was exhausted after the emotional burden of what that means for him moving forward, for his kids, the day he'd had running around and trying to organize things, and that he was just trying to buy some food so he could go home and have a beer and try and clear his head. And I felt really affected by that. Like, I couldn't help it. So if someone says to you that their wife is going to die, you can't help but feel something for them. And so that feeling prompted me and encouraged me to do something for him. And I said, hey, can I at least help you take your stuff to your car? And he said, yeah, sure. And so I helped him take the stuff to the car. And it was just a little thing, but I went away from that conversation feeling a bit better about myself and feeling better, about connecting with people, but also like I felt something for him. And that's good. It might not feel good at the time, but connection is good and important. And I feel like we miss a lot of those moments, and I think we suffer for it. And so negative feelings can be really good. And having those conversations that don't make you feel so great are also really important. I didn't phrase that well, but there you go. Take what you will out of that. The third thing is this. Is the more you practice this, just connecting with random people, the happier you are at just kind of being present. What I mean by that is you feel like you don't want to, it's not as important to rush around. And everything doesn't have to be done like right now, like right here, right now. Like, let's do it. Let's get these groceries. Let's go do this thing. Like, let's go, whatever. You just happy to be more aware of life and move and talk to people and do this and do that. And you just feel calmer, more relaxed. And I've certainly felt that this week, that I've just been happier just to be. And in conversations, I haven't been like just dying to get out of that conversation and find the exit point, which I've previously felt a lot in conversations. I'm like, oh my gosh, when is this person going to shut up, or how can I get out of this conversation, or whatever. But the more you actually start genuinely connecting with people, the more you feel like you want to stick around and listen to more, and that's really good. I hope you found that as well, because I've certainly found that this week. Fourth, and this one was a good realization. Having these deeper conversations with people on the outskirts of your life makes your life that much more interesting. Like, seriously, the weird things that you can come across and conversations you can have, they're just everywhere. I mean, people are interesting, right? And so it makes sense that their stories and their conversations are interesting. And if you want to freshen up your life, make it more interesting, go have a conversation with a stranger, and you will certainly learn things and have your horizons broadened, and you'll be having conversations about the most random things. I guarantee you that. And I've certainly had that this last 2 weeks, and it's been really, really good. And sometimes I've been in conversations and thinking to myself, what are we talking about? Why are we talking about this? How do we get on to the topic of skyscrapers and the properties of their foundations, or like just random stuff, right? Random stuff. But it's really good, and it broadens your horizons. And you just learn things as well. I feel like we don't learn as much because we've got Google, and that tells us everything that we need to know. But it's different hearing it from a person, because there's an experience then associated with that knowledge. Interesting point. Last thing, final thing, and I'll close with this. If you want to connect with people on a deeper level, you can't fake it. You can't fake it till you make it. It won't work. I tried it. It won't work. Connecting with people on a deeper level and having these conversations, it costs you something. It costs you time. It costs you energy. It will tire you out. Like, you need to want to do it. You need to want to grow in this area to actually grow. You can't just fake it. And so I'd encourage you, before you even if you're thinking like you want to grow with people on the outskirts of your life, and you want to take this on yourself, you really want to have to do it. If not, don't worry, that's okay. Focus on something else. But because otherwise it will just be a waste of your time, and you won't learn anything, and you'll come away frustrated or bitter or disgruntled or whatever. You can't fake it. You can't fake conversations. I've been faking conversations for way too long, and I'm sick of it, and it doesn't work, and you don't grow. This 2 weeks was really good for me, just to have really honest conversations and no agendas. Because you can't have an agenda with a random person, because they're random and you don't know what they're going to say. And that's been good for me. It's stretched me and grown me and challenged me. And so hopefully you've experienced the same thing. So that's it. next week, next Monday, I'm going to release the video at 9 o'clock on Mondays, and that's going to be the schedule from now on. And we're going to tackle the next subject. I'll introduce you to the next topic, and it's a good one. It's a doozy. It's one that I've personally been challenged by a lot in my life, and I know I need to grow in this area. So next Monday, 9 o'clock, I'll see you there. And I just want to encourage you as well, if you've been enjoying this, please subscribe to the channel and please post this on your friends' pages and stuff, because I want as many people to kind of connect with this as possible, because the more people that connect with it, the more fun it is for me, the more fun it is for you, and you can learn and grow together and have conversations. And so I really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, can it, give it a bad thumbs down. But if you did, thumbs up, like, subscribe. With that, I will see you next Monday for another exciting episode of Chris Grows Up, and have a good week. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to grow up.